Welcome everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about SEO internet marketing tips. You are in for a real treat. I am here with my blogging buddy, Josh Parker, and you can find Josh Parker at meetjoshparker.com, and you can find me at wealthmissionpossible.com. This is Lisa Jared. I'm an internet marketer for many years now, and I make my living on the internet. So today we're going to be talking about SEO internet marketing. We're going to be going over some very basic guidelines for you to follow, and then Josh is going to be taking you through some of the on-page SEO. So this is aimed at a beginner. So if you're just starting out with internet marketing with your blog, this SEO internet marketing training is for you. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking to you about are some basic SEO tips. We're going to be talking about how Google ranks pages, a little bit about keyword research, the blogging platform that you're using, that your URLs count, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about Katamari philosophy. So let's get started with SEO internet marketing tips. Everyone wants to know how to do SEO. It's like this really big mystery to everybody. And SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. This is the most important part of your online marketing strategy. Josh, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, Lisa.
Thank you. So I'm going to give you some key tips here, because what if you write the most helpful content ever on your website? There's no guarantee that you're going to get visitors unless you do something about it. So when you're marketing online, when you're an internet marketer, very key thing is you've got to get your website to rank in the search engine results. If you don't do that, it's going to be very, very difficult to get traffic to it. Certainly you can use social media marketing, but if you do that, you're going to get a lot less traffic than if you're ranking in Google search results. So the first thing that you need to understand is that search engine optimization and internet marketing, they go hand in hand. And the very first thing that you need to do is understand the basics of how to SEO your website as a whole. Just some of the very basic information. So again, I'm not going to be going into a lot of technical SEO internet marketing tips with you today. Instead, I'm going to give you the basics that you should be doing every time, and this is going to give you a base for moving on to more difficult SEO topics. So again, your goal with your website is one thing. You want to rank high in that Google search engine. And I can tell you, my blogging buddy here, Josh Parker, you will find him on page 1 for many, many high-ranking keywords. I know, because I keep chasing him. I'm going to get you, Josh. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, I don't know. I think you're ahead of me in a few of them, Lisa. You're doing pretty well yourself.
Thank you. We do run neck and neck quite a bit and have a lot of fun with our competition. So the very first tip I'm going to give you today is, how does Google rank pages? You've probably heard a lot of really crazy technical explanations about how Google ranks pages for search engine SEO. You know, I mean, people go into this crazy stuff and details, and you don't need to know any of that. I'm going to give you the simplest way to think about how Google ranks pages for search engine SEO. Here it is. You ready? You want to be relevant and reputable. Now, being relevant and reputable is a long-term strategy. And overall, blogging is a long-term strategy. It's known as passive marketing. So it's not going to happen overnight. You've got to have a lot of patience. You've got to be very, very consistent with your blogging in order to make something happen, because it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week, and it might not happen in 3 months. It might take 3 to 6 months for you to start ranking on Google, but be consistent. So let's get back to being relevant and reputable. What does being relevant mean? Being relevant is what you say in your blog post. Being reputable is what people say about you. Now, the way to stay relevant is by staying on top with your blog. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that your blog is about internet marketing and SEO and MLM and that whole area of topic. Now, what would happen if you suddenly wrote a blog post about dog food? That particular blog post would not be relevant. So what you want to do is pick the theme of what you're going to be writing about overall on your website and stay relevant. Be very, very consistent with it. Staying on topic with your blog means that you're going to be relevant. If you write about something that you really care about and you write often, you will become reputable over time. So that means that if you write often, you stay on topic, you become that expert that people go to, guess what? People are going to say good things about you, more people are going to visit your website. So being relevant and being reputable go hand in hand. But I got to tell you, friends, you've got to be consistent. So what does that mean? It means that in your first 90 days of having your blog, you should be blogging at least 5 or 6 times a week, every week for your first 90 days. Now, thereafter, I suggest 3 to 5 times a week. Here's what doesn't work. Let's say that you write a blog post today, and you write another blog post in 2 weeks, and then another one a week later. Well, guess what? That's not going to work very well. You are not going to be getting any kind of a reputation, and Google's just going to ignore you. So remember, you want to stay relevant, you want to stay reputable, and make sure you stay consistent. Here's your next basic SEO tip. Use the Google Keyword Research Tool. Now, I'm not going to go into this a whole lot. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wealth Mission. There's an awesome training on keyword research that Josh and I did just a couple of weeks ago, where we actually show you how to use the Google Keyword Research Tool. So I highly recommend that you go there for the detail of how to do this, but I want to explain to you a little bit about why you need the Google Keyword Research Tool. First of all, it's free. It's not going to cost you a penny. Here's why you need to do your keyword research. If you don't use the correct keywords for any of your blog posts, it's going to be really hard for those search engines to return your website in the search engine results. And after all, that is what you want. You want your website to show up in the search engine results. So if you don't bother doing your keyword research, and believe me, friends, I know a lot of people that don't bother with it because maybe they're lazy or they don't understand it. But if you don't, you could be missing out on hundreds or even thousands of visitors simply because you either didn't do your keyword research or you picked the wrong keyword. So you want to think about the different niches of keywords that you're targeting. Always do your keyword research first. If not, you really do take a big risk of getting absolutely no traffic to your website. And again, I want you to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wealth Mission, and you're going to see an awesome training there from Josh Parker and myself on keyword research. Now, once you have a keyword for a topic, you really want to think about all the different ways that a person might type that into the Google search, right? Because there's not just one way. There's something called interchangeable words and similar terms. And you're going to see a lot of that when you do your research in the Google Keyword Tool. So here's what I mean by interchangeable words. Let's say that you decide you're going to write a blog post about network marketing. Well, you can also interchange the term MLM, and you're going to still rank well for your keyword, for your keyword terms. So it doesn't matter really if you interchange MLM with network marketing. If you choose to write about network marketing, you are not limited to using that term alone. Always look to use interchangeable terms throughout your blog post because you're going to rank even better in Google. Why? Because when you use interchangeable terms and words in a different order from each other, that is a more natural way of speaking. You know, we don't talk using the same exact term or different words strung together constantly. So you want to be as natural as possible, including those type of words in your blog post. And the final thing that I want to remind you about when you're thinking about using keywords, you really want to be careful of what I'm going to call jargon mismatches. So what does that mean? Oh my goodness. You want to understand what a regular person is going to say. I can't even think of an example right now, but when you use really unique jargon or, you know, different types of acronyms that nobody in the world really is going to understand except you and a handful of other people, you're not going to get much traffic. So you want to do your research. You want to think about what do normal people type in. You don't want to think about necessarily what you're going to type in to do that particular search. So my next tip for you today for a blogging SEO tip is your blogging platform. Okay, you do not want to use the WordPress.com free service. Now I see a lot of people using, I think it's called Blogspot, and a lot of people get free websites from WordPress.com. You don't want to do that, friends. You do not own that. It's a free service. They can take down your content anytime they want. So you want to use WordPress.org software, and you want to get your own hosting provider. You want to get your own domain name. And what's great about WordPress is this. WordPress takes care of 80 to 90% of the mechanics of your overall SEO website optimization. So for example, WordPress websites, and this is really, really key, WordPress websites are very, very crawlable by the Google robots. They crawl through all these websites. Let's say that you had this hand-done website that was just all full of all this flash stuff. Well, guess what? Google cannot effectively crawl that content. So you want to make sure that you use WordPress.org software. You want to get your own domain name, and you want to have a website provider. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to screen share my website right now. So give me one little second here so I can get there. One of the things I'm going to talk about is the WordPress permalink structure. Sorry. Do you see my permalink structure? No. Okay, just a minute. Here it is. Can you see that, Josh?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Having a little problem here. Okay, once you have your WordPress blog set up, the very first thing you want to do is set up your permalink. And here's why. The permalink structure, this is actually one of the best and simplest SEO internet marketing tips that you can do. Now, what you see here in these permalink settings, and you can get that on the left-hand side of your admin panel inside WordPress, you see there's permalinks way down here on the left. When you first set up your WordPress blog, I believe it defaults to the very first setting right here, which ends with $P=123. So here's the thing. When Google goes out with its robot and shows things in the search results, it looks at everything, not just the words on your blog post, but it looks at the title of your blog post. It even looks at the URL. Now, what's going to happen if your blog URL is like this, wealthmissionpossible.com/P=123? Well, that doesn't really mean anything. There's no chance Google's going to recognize that at all and include it in how your post is going to rank for a keyword. So what you want to do is select post name. If you don't have post name in your common settings here, you want to go to custom structure and type what you see right here into your custom structure. And then it's going to be something like wealthmissionpossible.com/sample-post if the name of my post was sample post. So Google is going to read that, and I'm going to show you why this is important. Can you see this blog post, Josh?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Okay. Here's a blog post that I wrote, and this is an SEO internet marketing power tip for you. You can make your blog post URL slightly different than your blog post title. Here's what WordPress does. Let's say I typed in this title for my blog post, use Facebook hashtags to boost your social media marketing. What WordPress automatically does is it makes that title that I typed into my URL and puts dashes in between all the words. And you can see the URL up here. I changed it just to Facebook hashtag, Facebook-hashtag. One of the things you want to do is make your URL words slightly different than your title. Here's why. People search on different variants of the exact same keyword term. So for example, let's say that the title of your blog post is changing the default printer. Well, you can make your URL something like domain.com/change-default-printer. So there's the word change instead of changing. That is a variant that people are going to be searching for. And guess what? Google's going to find that in the search engine. So whether people are searching for change or changing, you're going to get to rank because you have both of those variants, one being in the URL, the other being in the blog post. So this is a really key power tip for you to use. So let's go back to the next item on the list, and this is going to be the last tip that I have for you. What you want to do is apply the Katamari philosophy to your blogging. So what the heck is Katamari? Katamari is this Japanese video game, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it. You can have a lot of fun just by going on Google and doing a search for it. But basically, there's this prince, and he's got to rebuild everything in the universe. And the way he does this is with this magic ball. It's a magic adhesive ball. And when he starts rolling it around, all these things stick to it, so he can start rebuilding the universe. And as he rolls it, more and more stuff sticks to it, so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So When you apply the Katamari philosophy to your blogging, to your internet marketing SEO, here's how that works. You want to start really small. Start in a small niche where you can learn how to do really well. You want to start with those really keyword searches that have less monthly searches for them, with what we call low fruit hanging SEO keywords, and then you roll up gradually. So I got to tell you, no matter what you see out there, all kinds of things, buy this, buy that, you're going to rank instantly. There are no shortcuts to SEO internet marketing or ranking high in the search engine. If you want massive traffic to your site, it simply takes time. It also takes a really solid search engine marketing strategy. So in using the Katamari tool, you are always reaching and rolling up bigger and bigger, rolling up to bigger and bigger things. And your traffic will actually start snowballing over time. So when you start in a small niche, you might get a little bit of traffic here and a little bit of traffic there, and you do a few of those. Now you're getting more and more traffic. As you get better at writing, as you get better at your SEO, you can start going after better keywords. Now you're getting more and more traffic, and I got to tell you, friends, over time, all of your work is going to roll up into massive traffic for your blog. So those are your very basic SEO internet marketing tips. And I'm going to turn it over to Josh Parker now of meetjoshparker.com. He has a really exciting training for you right now. He's actually going to take you behind the scenes. He is going to show you exactly how he gets page 1 ranking in Google for his blog post. He's showing you details. He's giving you the secrets of how he does it. Take it away, Josh.
All right, cool. Well, Lisa, that was a lot of good information. It's going to be hard to match that, but I'm going to get right to the point here, and what I'm going to do is basically take you into the back office of my website. Lisa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Okay, I'm getting a little feedback in my headset, of course, so I just wanted to make sure. But anyway, as Lisa said, I'm going to take you into the back office of my WordPress site and show you some of the on-page optimization things that I do to get some good rankings in Google for my chosen keywords. So here we go. I'm gonna share my screen now, Lisa, and I'll ask you to confirm to make sure that you can see everything. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Can you see I'm logged into the Google AdWords keyword tool here? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, well, I have 3 tabs open right here. And as Lisa said, using these are the related keywords that she's talking about. What I did here is I basically started with a keyword MLM marketing system. This is a keyword that I have recently wrote a blog post about a week ago. And if you Google that search phrase, MLM marketing system, what you're going to see is within a week, just from doing my on-page optimization, oh, look who we have here. There's Lisa. Why don't we get a round of applause for Lisa right there, ranking highly for that keyword. But right on her tail is this guy running through smoke right here and fire. That would be me. And like I said, this post was written, it says June 12th, so yeah, less than about a week ago, I wrote this post, and in that amount of time, Google has found it, indexed it, and placed it in the search engines, and I came out rewarded with a page 1 ranking. And I have no backlinks to this post whatsoever. I basically am ranking here because I'm keeping some certain on-page optimization things in mind when I wrote the post. So here we are. We have Lisa and myself on page 1. I would imagine that both of us will move up as our site gains authority. As Lisa was talking about, consistency is huge. If you're going to be a blogger, consistency, relevance is the name of the game. So you wanna be consistent. The more consistent you are, the more authority your blog will basically gain. And as you can see here, I'm getting page one rankings, and I don't do any off-page optimization, which, you know, any SEO guru will tell you, oh, it's all about backlinks. Well, the game's changing a little bit here, and it's about quality content. It's about on-page optimization. It's about unique content. You never want to use spun or thin content. You know, you basically want to create value-based content, you know, with your articles, and then you want to take care of the on-page optimization stuff. So, okay, so there we are on page one. Now I'm going to show you the back office of my website. Here we are. I started this site not too long ago. 51 posts is what I've got so far, so I'm taking a lot of action and, you know, trying to do as Lisa, you know, even says. I totally agree with her there in the 5-6 posts a week. You know, that's the name of the game, just being consistent. So I'm going to get into my posts. Here's one I started today. Haven't published yet, but another one a couple days ago. And then here we go on 6/12. I did publish why use an MLM marketing system in your business. So I'm going to go to edit. Are you still with me, Lisa? You can see my screen okay?
Yep, looks great. Now I get to see your secret.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I guess I won't be outranking you for anything after this. Well, one thing Lisa and I do differently, and you know, there's many different ways to skin a cat. So you can, here's where she edited her URL right here. So if I wanted to do that and just get my main keyword in there, this is, you know, basically where I could do that, and I could delete all this and, you know, before and that, and just have my main keyword in there. But, you know, I don't generally do that. You know, I have in the past, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I have no explanation. Really, I think you can do it either way, and with anything online marketing, it's always best to test and see what works for you. So, you know, go ahead and try it Lisa's way, try it my way, and you know, main thing is get those permalinks like she showed you set, so you are getting your keyword in your URL. So I'm going to cancel that. So here we are. I have this post, and like I said, you know, the main thing I always strive for is creating quality, value-based content. I don't want to create garbage content. I don't want to create spun content, take someone else's article and spin it. That'll just get your site in basically in the crapper with Google very fast if you do that. If you're going to be a blogger, you have to make up your mind that you're going to create engaging, quality, unique content, because that is the name of the game. That is what Google wants. They're becoming more and more about user experience. So if you're going to blog, you might as well give them what they want. So this article, as you can see, is 950 words. It's not a ton, but it's definitely probably more than the average person does when they write a blog post on, you know, in these situations. So here we go. The first thing I do here is I get the keyword in my title. So MLM marketing system, that was my target keyword. So as you can see, I found it in the Google keyword tool. It's not, this would be considered one of those low-hanging fruits that Lisa mentioned. It's getting 390 searches a month in the country I live in. This is all you need to be concerned with, is this number right here. So, you know what? As Lisa said, all these little search engine keywords that get, you know, 300, 400, 200 searches per month, if you get page one rankings for them, they all start adding up, and sooner or later you're getting a lot of traffic from those small keywords. And then as your blog builds authority, you can start going after some of the bigger ones. So there's where I chose that. And one thing before I get back into my pages, this is also a great spot to find those related keywords that you want to get into your content that Lisa was talking about. I'm going to show you one other place where I get some of those as well. But, you know, looking through here, you know, you don't want to stuff them in or make it sound unnatural, but if you can squeeze in a couple of these other keywords that they're recommending that are related to your initial search query, excuse me, you know, that's a very good thing. So let's get back on track here, though. I get sidetracked easy, so sorry about that. So as I said, you get the keyword in your title here. That's the very first thing you need to do. So, and then, you know, as you're writing your content, I like to have my keyword in the first sentence of my first paragraph. So as you can see right here, I have MLM marketing system. It's in the very first sentence of my article. So if you can't get it in your first sentence, at least get it in your first paragraph. It's important to say right off the bat, go along with your title and get that keyword in there. You know, the whole goal with on-page optimization is to tell Google what you want to rank for. If you don't tell them what you want to rank for, well, they're not going to know. And you could write this great article on, you know, a marketing system for MLM, and you could end up ranking for something totally different. So the goal of on-page optimization is to tell Google and other search engines what you want to rank for. So as you can see right here, the first thing I did is I got my keyword in the first sentence, and here I also underlined it. I'm going to get to that a little bit in a second here. The next thing I want to do is I want to have what's called an H1, an H2, and an H3 tag with my keyword in this entire article here. So the way you do that is in your visual editor here, you have these options, and you would highlight something, and you would, if I wanted to make your, which I wouldn't do, but you know, I could change it to an H1, H2, H3. I always just try to get the H1, H2, H3 with my keyword in each post. So that's how you do that. In this article, this phrase right here, you can see that changed to H2. So that's telling me I have an heading 2, you know, and I'm using it in a natural sounding sentence, why use an MLM marketing system, and then I talk about why you should do it. Now, in an H3, I say what to look for in an MLM marketing system. So I'm using natural sounding sentences that I'm not stuffing my keyword in just for the sake of SEO. I'm using them in a natural sounding sentence. I'm asking a question, or you know, something like this, and then I'm answering it below here. And so that's what I'm doing. You know, why use an MLM marketing system? And I say why. So those are the next few things I do is H1, H2, H3. Now, as I said before, I have it underlined here. I don't always underline in the beginning. Sometimes it's bold, sometimes it's italics. But in every post, I like to have one keyword underlined. Let's see, where do I have it down here? I like to have, I know I got it in here. Geez, I might not. Nope, here it is bolded. So I have the keyword in the very beginning. I have it underlined. Right here, I can see that I have it in italics. And then right down here, I have my keyword bolded. So those are other things I recommend you do, is to get your keyword in your content and get them bold, underlined, and italicized. That's just one additional part of on-page SEO where you're helping to tell Google what you want to rank for. So now, after that, I don't focus a ton on getting my keyword in there. I'm aware of it, but I don't want to stuff it in there. I try to use a related keyword or two from here. And another place you can find those related keywords is if you just Google your main phrase here, and you go all the way down to the bottom of page 1, these are some other, it's telling you these are related to MLM marketing systems. So, you know, I'm obviously not going to get one MLM marketing in there, or, you know, some of them just don't make sense. If they don't make sense, don't use them. So, but, you know, MLM online marketing system, that would be a good one. So that's another spot where you can look for those related keywords that Lisa was talking about earlier. So I do that. And then one thing I do is I like to have my keyword density. Now, this is not something that you really want to focus on, and I don't actually check it that much anymore. But if you're using a plugin like SEO Presser or something like that, which I don't, as you can see on this page, it's not showing up. You know, I'm just focusing on writing naturally, and I don't worry about my keyword density too much. One thing I can tell you, though, is you don't want it too high. That's, you know, keyword stuffing, and you're basically over SEO content if you word in there too many times. So I would say 1% is pretty safe, and you're not going to get over SEO penalty with your content on your website. So, you know, you can ask 10 different people and get 10 different opinions on that. I go for 1%, you know, sometimes a little more, and sometimes it comes out a little less. The main thing I'm doing is writing natural. I don't want to keyword stuff. I want it to be helpful, engaging, useful content that's value-based, and that's more important to me. So that's the next thing I look to. And now, after I have that in line, I always put a nice little image, you know, right here at the top of my post. So, here's how it looks in the actual post. Let me pull it up here. Taking a little longer because we're doing a screen share on the Hangout. Taking a lot longer because we're doing the screen share on the Hangout, but holy cow, let me just keep going and we'll come back to that. But here's my little image. Now, when you upload an image, you basically, if I wanted to add an image right here and align it to the right side, I would just use this add media, upload files, and I would select, from wherever I saved it on my computer. So, I'm not going to do that right now, obviously, because I don't want to put an image in there, but that's how you would do that. And then when you're uploading, you have two options. What you want to do is when you find an image to use, you want to save it onto your desktop as your keyword. So I saved this image. Don't ask me why. I chose a little guy plugging into something. I just thought it was cool at the time, so I went with it. But I saved this image when I found it. I right mouse click, saved it as onto my desktop as MLM marketing system. That gave me the title of the image, my keyword. And one other thing I like to do, and you should do as well, is set your alt text for that image as your keyword. Now you can do that when you're doing the upload in here. After you go and choose your picture, it'll right below the title, you'll have an opportunity to put it in the alternate text area. Or a different way to do it would be to click on the image here in your editor, click on this edit image, and right in here, it's telling you that I already did it, but there's my alternate text, MLM marketing system. So there I had set my alt tag. That's setting your alt tag, and that's just one little other part of SEO, on-page SEO. So, and as you can see here, this post finally came up. Here is what it looks like in my post, and this is totally offbeat, but I know it's something that a lot of people don't know how to do, and so I'm going to throw it in here real quick, and this is just a cool way to get sorry, Lisa, I'm really going off on a tangent here, but I know that some people don't know how to do this, and to get padding and spacing around your images just so they look aesthetically pleasing, you just do that edit image advanced setting, and you put in horizontal space. I always go with 5. But some images that have a lot of white around them, I don't need to do it, so I don't do it. But some that have, whether they're black or a dark color all the way up to the edges, the words can come right up to the images, and that just doesn't look very good. So I put a little padding in there, horizontal space, in the advanced settings. Okay, I'm going to get back on topic here. That was just my one little bonus tip for you for making things pretty. So after that, now I've got my keyword in my title, my first sentence. I got, H1, H2, H3. I have bold, underline, italics. I'm doing great. I got my image SEO'd properly, writing a really nice, helpful content. Another thing I like to do is I like to link posts together. It's called interlinking. Interlinking is internal linking is I guess what it's technically called, but internal linking your pages together, pages and posts, it helps Google crawl your entire site. They look at that as something that makes it easy to navigate your site, and they want things as easy as possible for users. So it's always good to internal link your pages. So this would be going to a different page on my site, as you can see there. Here I kind of use something that stands out, but this links to a different post on my site, which is a review of My Lead System Pro. Here I'm linking to a different post on my site about finding the best MLM leads, and I'm using some of the keywords. Some of them I'm just using click here. So the key is to get other posts in your content where you're linking to. It also gives the people reading an opportunity to stay on your site longer, to find other articles. The goal is to get people to really enjoy your site. So, make it as easy as possible for them to find more of your content by internal linking. So that's just one other little part of on-page SEO that you should be doing. And, that's what I do there. Now, basically, that's most of my on-page SEO in a nutshell, but there's one last thing I do. I use a free plugin called All-in-One SEO Pack. I know that Lisa doesn't use that plugin, but there's a ton of different plugins for SEO. That's a really good free one. Lisa, which one do you use?
I use SEO Presser, and Scribe SEO. They are two different plugins.
Okay, so all of those are going to get the same job done, but let me scroll all the way down here and show you what I do with my all-in-one SEO settings here. And see right here, now it's telling my all-in-one SEO. So this is showing me my preview snippet. So this is my title, it's showing me, and there's my site name. So here's URL, and now here's the description for this particular post. And if you don't put something in here, and if you don't create this, Google's just going to grab content from your article, and it may or may not have your keyword in there. So you want to get your keyword in your description. So for me, using the all-in-one SEO pack, you know, here we go. If you are a network marketer using an MLM marketing system, there's my keyword right there. You know, can help you generate leads and keep your business moving forward. So I try not to make these very long. So you don't, you know, they won't show all of it anyway. So I think it's like 164 characters or something like that. But, you know, you don't want them too long, and you want to get your keyword in there as soon as possible so it shows up in this, you know, in the preview that this is actually what will show up in the search engine result pages of Google. So there's my keyword. So all these little things add up to really good on-page optimization because, you know, I'm getting my keyword exposure in every little possible thing that Google's looking for in on-page optimization. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not breaking the rules. I'm not doing anything black hat. I'm just making it very easy for Google to find out what my site, what this particular article is about, and what I want to rank for. So, you know, that is on-page optimization in a nutshell. And as you can see, I'm ranking on page 1 for this keyword, you know, in less than a week. So it does work. You know, this is how you should optimize your posts. You know, if you're not optimizing your posts, then you could have a great article, but, you know, no one might read it. And if no one's reading your stuff, then you know what? What's the point? So follow these things, and you'll be on your way to really solid on-page optimization. Now, you can take this stuff that I just showed you, and you can make a little checklist. You can use a plugin like the SEO Presser plugin, which kind of gives you a checklist for you to tell you some of the things that, you know, you still need to do to have good on-page optimization. But as you get better at this stuff, and the more you write, I've been doing this for a couple of years. So, you know, for me, I just write, and I know when I'm optimized. And with enough practice, you will too. So, you know, you're not going to be as fast and efficient when you first start blogging as you are a year later. It's just how it works. And, you know, the more practice you can put in, the more posts you can crank out, the better you're going to get at it, the faster you're going to get at it. And, you know, as Lisa and I both can tell you, go after those low-hanging fruits in the beginning. Find some keywords that don't have massive search volumes because they're not going to have as much SEO competition. Start getting some page 1 rankings for those, and traffic will start to snowball to your site. So that is a great plan to follow, and that is how you should start if you're starting a blog. Don't start a blog and think that you're going to make a post and rank for network marketing. It's not going to happen. You can have the best on-page optimization in the world, but it's not going to happen. So start by getting some long-tail keywords, some low-hanging fruit, create value-based content that's unique, it's your own thoughts, and just start writing. Be consistent, take action. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, Lisa, okay?
Okay.
So that's all I have to show in the back office of my site for my on-page, so I'm going to stop sharing now, and here I am. So,
hey, Josh, there you are. Okay.
So yeah, and that's it. Lisa, what do you have anything that you want to add to that, or did you know your thoughts on the things I'm doing? Are those the things you're doing as well?
Well, first of all, Josh, I want to say thank you so much. That was an amazing and awesome training on-page SEO, and now I know all your secrets.
Hey.
No, I don't
right?
really have anything to add. What I want to say is that Josh and I do very similar SEO. We do something slightly different, but as you can see, as Josh pointed out, we still both end up on page 1. So we're doing different variations of keywords. I don't write as many words in my blog posts as Josh does, There's a lot of different variations. I have shorter URLs. Josh's are a little bit longer. But as you can see, it doesn't really matter. So as long as you're following the basics, that's really the key here. Write content that is relevant and just use that Katamari philosophy. Go for those low-hanging fruit keywords. Over time, that's going to roll up, and you're going to start getting massive traffic to your website if you start following the basics. So again, I want to thank you all for attending this webinar today. Now, if you are on YouTube watching the recording, I want you to look through the links in the description. You can visit Josh Parker at meetjoshparker.com. You can visit my website, Lisa Jarrett, at wealthmissionpossible.com. Our websites have a ton of internet marketing information for you, network marketing, MLM, those are interchangeable words. And if you need help, we are here to help you. We use an awesome marketing system called MLSP, and I want to invite you, contact us, talk to us. We would love to share that system with you. So again, this is Lisa Jarrett and Josh Parker, and I'm going to share my screen real quick here. So thank you so much for attending today. Again, contact us, wealthmissionpossible.com or meetjoshparker.com. Thank you so much, Josh. You are an awesome internet marketer, and I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Lisa. Same to you. Same to you. It was my pleasure, an honor to be on the webinar with you. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you took the time today to share all of your SEO secrets with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope to hear from you very soon. Bye for now.